What's up guys, welcome back, and in today's video we're gonna look how to do the surface scattering with geometry nodes. So if you don't basically know what that is, this is what that is. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video. So first off, let's just start by deleting the cube because we don't want it, and let's make a plane so that, and we're gonna like scatter the things upon this plane. So I have an add-on known as the add mesh extra objects. So if you add that, if you go to Shift A in the mesh, you can see a rock generator and a lot of other things. This is a really useful add-on because it just gives like more assets. So now I'm going to take this rock generator, and as you can see, there is a rock. So if you want to play with the size, the details, and roughness and those things, it's just right here. You can just click here and you'll get this thing. So I'm going to change this display detail to a 3. And yeah, it's kind of cool. And if you don't want the seed, you can just kind of change the seed. I'm just going to undo this use random seeds, and you can see like there are a lot of seeds. So I'm going to take the seed. That's looking pretty cool. So now we are having an object to scatter on. So now let's see how can we scatter or like just duplicate and put this thing everywhere. So I'm gonna move the real one to this side. And I'm gonna take this plane. And I'm gonna go to this geometry nodes right here. And if you open geometry nodes, you can actually just, if you like press on this new, you can actually see it as a modifier. So that's kind of cool. And we don't really want this thing, so I'm just gonna right click and just join the arrows. There we go. That's much better. So now let's see how can we scatter this thing. So first off, I'm going to go a distribute points and faces. There you go. Kind of a big name. And now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, there are some points, but we can't see the plane. So if we want to see the plane, what we should do is we should add a join geometry. There we go. If I connect this, and I should connect this input into this, you can just like connect infinite numbers into this. And as you can see, our plane is visible. And now let's just move it here. There we go. Let's see how can we change these points into this small rock. So first off, I'm gonna add another node known as instances on points. Instance. There we go. Instance on points. So I'm gonna put it right in between this distribute points on faces and the join geometry. So if I put it right there, I'm gonna put the point into the instance. As you can see, there are like no more of these points. So now let's see how can we bring this thing into here. So there are 2 ways to bring this rock into this. First one is by adding Shift A and like object info node, and you can just take the rock, or you can do another way by just taking it from the scene collection. You can just take this rock from here and just like drag click and put it here. And now I'm going to connect this geometry to the instance, and as you can see, there are a lot of big rocks. So now let's see how can we just change their sizes. As you can see, there is an option to change the size. So I'm just going to decrease the size. Something like that would do it. And if you want to have more of these, you can just increase at these density. As you can see, there are like a lot of rocks. So that is how you do that. And if I'm just going to change this into 10 because it's just getting laggy. Okay, so now you can play with this rotation right here, like all sorts of rotation. But if you want a natural looking stone or a rock, it's like more natural to have random scale and random rotation. So now let's see how can we add a random scale and rotation to it. So first of all, I'm going to press Shift A and add another node known as a random value. And what this does is that you have a minimum and a maximum, and you can connect this to any values, any like inputs. So you can just connect it to the instance on points thing. So I'm going to connect this value to the scale first. There we go. So I'm going to change this minimum into like 0.1. Okay, that's a bit small. Let's just change it to 0.3. No. Let's just change to 0.2. There we go. We are having like all sorts of rocks right now. And I'm going to increase this density. And if you want to change the seed, you can just play with the seed until you get the one like which you are a bit like likely to. And now let's see how can we do this the same thing to the rotation. So to add a bit more of this, a bit more of a value, add another random value, because this one, even if I duplicate it, it's gonna have the same value. So now I'm gonna connect this to the rotation. So now I'm going to connect this to the rotation, as you can see, and in this rotation you can just change it to a bit bigger value, so that, as you can see, there's a bit more kind of natural rocks. So this was how it was before, and this is how it is now. So yeah, this is kind of adding a lot of more naturals into this. So if you want, you can just make this density to a 30. There we go. That looks cool. So that is how you mainly do like this part. And if you want, you can just kind of add some more notes or like some more shaders, some more you can add some more material to this and make it kind of cool. So if you want more of this density, you can just play with this. You can just drag on this thing, and yeah, and you'll have a lot of them. And also you can play with the seed until you have a one that fits for your camera. And that is how you do it. Hope you liked it, and yeah, we'll make sure to see it on another video, and until then, bye bye.